Okay, good morning all. We are from Group 1 and today we are here to present about the local government policy in Nepal. Okay, let me introduce our group members, myself Krishna, and here we have Vachala and Shashindra. Okay. Okay, for the top table of content today I will cover the introduction and background and also the type of local government, and followed by Vachala. Vachala will present about the roles of local government, and finally Shashindra will present about the issues and solution and also conclusion. Okay, it's a brief introduction about the Nepal. Nepal is officially the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal. It's a landlocked of central Himalayan country in South Asia. Nepal is divided into 7 states and 77 districts and 753 local units, including 4 metropolitan cities, 13 sub-metropolitan cities, and 246 municipalities and 481 rural municipalities. The current structure of local governance established by the Constitution of Nepal 2015 and the power and functions of each level of government is derived from the Constitution of and the Local Government Operation Act 2017. Okay, for in the area is the 93rd largest country by area, and the population is approximately 26.4 million population in the Nepal currently. Okay, here we can see the current structure of local governments. The first one is federal government and followed by the provinces. Provinces means state and followed by district. Under district we have 4 sub and we have metro cities, sub-metro cities, municipalities and rural municipalities. Okay, next. Okay, here we will see about the type of local governments. We have totally 3 followed. The first one is a district. The Nepal constitution established a district assembly to coordinate between municipalities and rural municipalities within the district. The assembly is made up of a rural municipality leaders and town mayors. They will form a district coordination committee with 9 members, including a chief, deputy chief, and at least 3 women, and 1 member from a minority committee to serve for 5 years. They will it's essential to include the minority communities to for promoting the fairness and equal representations by ensuring that voices of all the citizens considered in the decision making process. And the district coordination committee also works to coordinate the local activities, liaise with the higher level governments, and monitor district development essential for promoting their roles and for all the citizenship. Okay, next. Okay, next we have a village or municipality executive. The Constitution of Nepal has a provision for a village and municipal assembly which acts as an executive within each local level. The executive is aided by a chairperson in rural municipality and a mayor in a municipality who is elected by the first past the first post voting in their local levels. They exist a voting for each of the local levels. Here they will be 4 women members and 2 members from a Dalit and minority communities are also elected to the executive by the village or municipal assembly among themselves. They it's essential to include the minority committee for each of the executive level. And the last one we have a what. What is a smallest unit of the local government in Nepal. Each ward of the local level also have a ward committee that composed of the ward chairperson and 4 ward members elected by the election and voting. The ward committee oversees the administration of the concerned ward for each local level. The local level of unit will be divided into minimum to 5 wards to the maximum of 33 wards. It's depending for the district level of the area district. If the large area, the ward will be the higher number of the wards will be divided. Okay, next I'll pass to Vachala.
Thank you so much, Krishna. So I'll be going through the roles of local governments. We have chosen about six main categories here to discuss on their roles and what are their recent events. So the first one would be health. Health main role is to provide primary healthcare service such as immunization, maternal and child healthcare, and also treatments for their common issues. They also conduct disease surveillance and also control activities from time to time being. The recent event such happened is in the Kathmandu metropolitan city where they launched a vaccine campaign against measles and rubella in June 2023. The next one would be education. In terms of education, it is their duty to make laws for basic and secondary educations, and also to ensure the right of education in the local level has been accessed to all their ward members or communities. So in terms of event, they have about 23 point rights and duties of local government have been stated in the Local Government Operation Act 2017, such as making education policies, having laws and coming up with standards, or making planning, implementation, protection, promotion, permission, naming, monitoring, and any type of regulation related to the basic and secondary education. So moving on to the road and transportation, the local government pays high priority in terms of infrastructure. They plan and develop and maintain their provisions of local roads. They provide public transport services to all levels of states and also wards. The recent event, the Ministry of Physical Infrastructure and Transportation has been developing a national road network, something like a highway when we call it in Malaysia, from one state to another state, in between local municipalities and wards as well. In terms of law and order, their main concern is to prevent crime and violence. Initially, the law and order was handled by the federal, but it seemed to be ineffective as the decision making was from the federal constitution. Therefore, the constitution of 2015 has provision to transfer the political, administrative, and economical authority from national to subnational level and granted substantial autonomy at the subnational level, meaning the local government can make their own regulation which are not against the federal rules and regulation. They still have to follow the federal administration and authority, but however they can still make a decision based on their local wards. Finally, finance. Finance is to municipality where entitled to collect various tax, fees, charges, and property renters. The Local Self-Governance Act has made provision for tax, service charges, fees, and revenue resources for the local bodies to enable them to generate adequate income and carry out development functions within their local government itself without depending on the federal government. Finally, is social welfare. Social welfare role is to provide service to the poor and vulnerable, and also to protect the right of women, children, and other marginalized groups. The Kathmandu metropolitan city has been providing food and shelters to their homeless people, and also the Ministry of Women, Children, and Social Welfare have been providing social welfare service to the poor and vulnerable. So moving on, I pass to Sachinran.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. However, there are several issues that have been being a concern in the local government in Nepal. So let's go one by one. So the firstly would be impunity, corruption, dishonesty. These three main issues are being happening in Nepal due to political connection, bureaucrats and conflict of interest, power holding attitude, and the manipulation in the loopholes of the law. Secondly, in Nepal, they have been practicing top-down planning, whereby the elites are being controlled in administration that have also weakened the local governance and institutional system. So let's move on to the solution part here. So Constitution of Nepal 1990 was being initially being highlighted, okay, promoting and ensuring decentralization doesn't take place, ensuring optimum involvement of people in local governance. Then, following this, at the later stage, the new Constitution of Nepal 2015 was being envisaged, okay, concept of federalization and decentralization of the state structure, and comprehensive local government reform was being designed based on two aspects, which is subsidiarity and economies of scale, which is EOS. So based on what have been mentioned by Marshall earlier, so the Constitution of 2015 has provision to transfer the political, administrative, and economic authority from national to sub-national level, and provide granted substantial autonomy at the sub-national level. Next slide, please. Okay. In terms of the several other issues that are being faced in the local governance of Nepal is that during the time of COVID-19, whereby there was a great impact in other countries as well. So municipalities and rural municipalities that did the most of the working, building and isolation services provided timely medicines and regularly calling on the infected, which was the responsibility of the local government. So they have conducted their part as a local government during the time of COVID-19. However, the issues being faced consists of patriarchal society, whereby men are being chosen mostly as main candidates and women are being picked as deputies in a political party. Okay, and in local level of politics, it is still dominated by caste system, whereby it is divided into families and sowed social discord in this. So what are the solutions for this? The community level health and education have improved over the years, and digital system was being developed tracking local government real time. So this is basically based on a 5 years experience that they have had earlier, and they have improved in terms of local bureaucracies, and they crafted better policies. So just to add on here, based on the aspects of what we have discussed earlier, okay, what is defined by local governments? It is a unit of governments that is being close to grassroots, whereby the responsibility is not only for institutional local governance by creating an enabling environment to promote democratic values and public participation in decision making, but it also accelerates social and economic development in order to enhance the quality and prosperity of community life. So this fundamental of responsibility by the government is basically it subsides in the governmental system also. So, but the point here is when we compare Nepal with other countries as well, the goals are still being far away, I would guess, a bit far away, and still needs to be met. So, based on discussion earlier, there's still much need to be done by local government, whereby it requires capacity to design and deliver services as infrastructure of immediate local significance. Thank you.